हिंसा को बुलाओ या ऑफिस में।
A very good evening, viewers. Thank you for tuning in to News 9. You're watching In Your Interest with me, Deepak Suresh Kumar. And today, viewers, from the streets of Kolkata to the national capital and now in the court, the standoff between Mamata Banerjee and the Enforcement Directorate has exploded into a full-blown political and a legal standoff. TMC MPs hit the streets, protests erupted outside Union Home Minister's office, and the Calcutta High Court is now the battlefield. Every action, every allegation, every counter has escalated this particular clash into a national spectacle. But let's tell you how it all started yesterday in Kolkata, where the drama reached its peak. First, ED raids I-PAC's Salt Lake office and the residence of its co-founder Pratik Jain, and within no time, Mamata Banerjee counter raids Enforcement Directorate, hijacks the files with electronic evidence as well as claimed by the Enforcement Directorate, while condemning the raids as politically motivated. ED officials have alleged obstruction, while TMC workers blocked operations, turning law enforcement into a street standoff. And the ED claims their raids were lawful, evidence-based and tied to coal smuggling linked to Hawala funding as well. And TMC calls them arbitrary, malified and a colorable exercise of power with no nexus to crime. ED also charges saying senior state functionaries forcibly removed documents obstructing justice. TMC fired back saying there was no obstruction and that ED overstepped its jurisdiction to seize confidential political data, including campaign strategies and electoral rolls. Enforcement Directorate, on the other hand, says it's about money laundering, but TMC calls it vendetta time to intimidate the party ahead of elections. While Mamata launched a 5-kilometer-long rally, the BJP launched a counter-protest, questioning how a sitting chief minister could tamper with a central probe. They demand accountability and judicial oversight, asking if the very office entrusted to uphold the law has been weaponized to shield political interests.
Madam Mamata ji, what is your linkage with that consultancy firm? आपको इतनी घबराहट हो गई? वो तो कंसल्टेंसी फर्म कई का काम करती है। लेकिन अगर घोटालों की जांच हो रही है, कोल स्कैम की जांच हो रही है, तो आपको इतनी परेशानी क्यों है, ये हमें बात समझ में नहीं आती। There is a lot of suspicious circumstances surrounding. ममता जी एक सीनियर नेता है ना, केंद्रीय मंत्री भी रही हैं, तो गवर्नेंस समझती हैं। वहां कुछ बहुत सेंसिटिव था जिसको निकालना जरूरी था।
Way Mamata Banerjee entered into the crime scene, the way she took away the flights, all the files, the way she uttered foul language against Home Minister, I think people will lose respect for her completely. I don't want to comment more, but it's a sad thing if a serving CM goes, hijack files, kidnap people. I think this is too much.
On the other hand, Mamata Banerjee has defended her action, saying she acted as the AITC chief and not the chief minister. If that's not enough, in a bold counter move, she also reversed the coal scam allegations, accusing Union Home Minister Amit Shah and the centre of allegedly benefiting from coal proceeds and the promise to expose how the funds moved through the BJP as well. Let's listen in to Mamata Banerjee.
PM যদি মিটিং করতে যায়, পলিটিক্যাল মিটিং করলেও পুলিশের সিকিউরিটি থাকে না। যেহেতু আমি Z+ ভুলে যান, আমি কাল যা করেছি অ্যাজ এ অল ইন্ডিয়া তৃণমূল কংগ্রেসের চেয়ারম্যান করেছি, এবং যা করেছি আমি কোনো অন্যায় করিনি। তুমি আমায় খুন করতে এসছো, আমার আত্মরক্ষা করার অধিকার আছে। চোরের মতো কেন এসছো? তুমি চুরি করে সব মানুষের এসআইআর এর ডাটা তুলে নিয়ে যাচ্ছিলে। তুমি আমার BLA-1 এর ঠিকানা, BLA-2 ঠিকানা, সাধারণ মানুষের দরখাস্ত, তুমি সমস্ত ডেটা আমার অফিস থেকে চুরি করছিলে, যে অফিস I-PAC কে আমরা অথরাইজ করেছি।
And what we cannot miss is the alleged Goa angle, viewers, because the ED alleges crores in kickbacks from the Delhi excise policy scam were routed via I-PAC to allegedly fund the 2022 Goa Assembly election campaign. Pratik Jain, I-PAC co-founder, has been accused of managing political strategy using these diverted funds, linking an alleged cross-state money laundering network between Delhi, Goa and also West Bengal. And viewers, in Bengal, history has a dangerous way of repeating itself, because this is not the first time Mamata Banerjee has resisted central probes. In 2018, she revoked blanket CBI consent, effectively blocking new investigations. In 2019, she publicly questioned the CBI, threatened officers and sat on dharnas against arrests. In 2022, the TMC passed resolutions delegitimizing ED and CBI operations, and in 2024, ED officials were attacked during raids. And this brings us to the big questions. What is Mamata Banerjee really scared of? What is she hiding and who is she shielding? Whose car was used to transport those files? Can a sitting chief minister block a central agency's probe? Can DGP, DCP and a police commissioner block a central agency's probe? And to answer these questions and to also help us understand what's really happening in West Bengal, we are being joined by Chandan Ghosh Chaudhary, spokesperson of the Congress. We have Firoz Khan as well from TMC. And first question goes to Firoz Khan. Mr. Firoz Khan, what's really happening in West Bengal? Why is Mamata Banerjee file jacking from the I-PAC office? And what is she really scared of? In fact, let's now go across to Chandan Ghosh Chaudhary, who's the spokesperson of the Congress party. Mr. Chandan, you know, Enforcement Directorate has launched probes against the Congress party leaders as well, but never has Mamata Banerjee interfered in the manner that she interfered in when the ED sleuths reached the I-PAC office and also Pratik Jain's house. How do you look at this?
See, Mr. Deepak, it is just a moment as we are just going to check the crisis as it happens. But once you are going to, watch the history, then you must go back 2013, when Congress party in Bengal has first raised this issue of Sarada, which was a scam of 24,000 crores. And then 2015, we had raised this, and again, just appealed to the court for investigation. Naroda, that was quite evident that the leaders of the Trinamool Congress who were receiving, the bribes on camera. So ultimately, ED and CBI were involved into these investigations, and today is 2026, where we find no movement in the cases. And finally, most of them who were arrested are released, and then the cases are not being heard anymore. Now the question is that if that is the particular way that the optic is created just before the election, 2021 election, assembly election, you might have, you could have remembered that it was a game directly between the Prime Minister and Chief Minister, and polarized the entire game. Finally, we were disseminated, but we never vanished from Bengal's politics. I just simply wish to have a particular draw of a particular portrait where we can check, we can see that the Chief Minister was coming out in front of the eyes of the ED officials with the green color files, and that has completely shocked the country. I tell you, where the raid was happening, just because of some malafide, the files and informations and all these, the kind of, the pain rides and all. But she went in as a Chief Minister, definitely as a Chief Minister, because she had definitely had shown her power, and then entered in the building, took out all these. What does it interpret? Do you really think that this is an optic? Do you really think that this is no optic? But it is a question between two. As it had happened before, nevertheless, nothing happened. And then again, ED is questioning now in the court of law. But yesterday, what they were doing? ED officials were doing nothing yesterday. They've never tried to even prevent the Chief Minister or what. It is not what the Chief Minister had not been, the booked instantly. We had seen Hemant Soren even the last instance. But the question is not that. The question is, if two official bodies are threatening each other, that the Bengal police, or you see that the Bengal officials of the police department, as well as the ED officials, they were loggerheads. So we must understand this could have been turned into a crisis, and that is turning. But our view is the kind of optic is made, that is definitely being undercurrent in the West Bengal politics when the election comes and this kind of optics are created. So we protest this, and we want the kind of justice to be meted out to the people, those who had suffered during this time. I mean, this all the times, right? The cases that we had put in the court of law, and then
Chandanji, what
tell you one
really
thing.
raises eyebrows is how the top cops of Bengal were used to hijack these files. AK Jain, former DGP of Uttar Pradesh, is also joining us live on this broadcast. Mr. Jain, how can, police officials, top cops, accompany a chief minister with what ED is claiming as politically motivated orders to hijack investigative files? Can a police commissioner, a DGP and a DCP on the orders of a sitting chief minister, derail an investigation? And what happens if they do?
No, they are not supposed to derail the investigation. They will have to accompany CM if CM so desires, because she is the CM of the state, she is the home minister also. So no harm in accompanying chief minister by DGP or by police commissioner or DCP, but creating obstructions there in the collection of evidence, which was being done by ED. It is absolutely what can I say? You don't have word for it. I don't think it has ever happened in the history of the country that elected chief minister of a state is behaving like this. She entered the flat and she confiscated so many papers. Her men were carrying dozens of files. She was also carrying a green file, and I'm told that she has taken away the mobile phone of Pratik Jain also. He is not MLA of TMC. He is not MP of TMC. He is not a minister. Then she is not supposed to behave like this. If he is looking after the publicity part, it doesn't mean that she can go and snatch the official documents which ED had confiscated. So matter is under consideration of High Court, and I think High Court will take cognizance of this, and she is threatening Home Minister. She has been doing it for the last so many days, because the last time she said that he cannot move out of the hotel if she doesn't allow. So all this is not desirable at all, and this is not conducive to a federal setup which is prevalent in our country.
That's right. And Firoz Khan, leader of the TMC, what is Mamata Banerjee really scared of? Because firstly, I want to say that the protests in Delhi and the protests in Kolkata were nothing but to distract the public gaze from what really happened yesterday. What are there in those files that Mamata Banerjee is so scared that she was consumed by fear? She raided the Enforcement Directorate itself during the middle of an investigation.
Listen, there is nothing to scare, right? In that file is our personal file that is dealt by the I-PAC, right?
Sir, but how do you know? How does the Enforcement Directorate, without going through those files, know that it is a personal file of the TMC? At least let them go through what the file has.
But the thing is that you have to think one thing, that ED has read the Pratik Jain office. Before that, they should have given the notice, they are coming here to collect the file and collect the details and all.
Okay, so you're saying that Mamata Banerjee's actions were justified, blocking an investigation?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I would also like to bring in the BJP here. Joy Malik, you just heard the TMC, and you also heard what Mamata Banerjee said just a few moments back. She said that she acted as the TMC chief, not as the chief minister. But can a TMC party chief block a central agency's investigation? If they do, like Mamata Banerjee did, then there is something that meets more than what you can really see at the I-PAC office, because the Enforcement Directorate believes that the I-PAC office was used as a medium to launder money.
Let's bring up few facts very clearly in front of everyone. Firstly, over there, when you are going as a chief minister, as a security point of concern, several police personnel may be, well, that's not absolutely okay. But what we find out is the documents which have been carried out from the office. This office is a private office. This is not a state government office. And the number which we found out of the vehicle have been used to carry out these documents is registered in the name of Trinamool Congress. The first question is really, if you are acting as a Trinamool Congress chairperson, your DGP is running with you, and you over there are going to disturb or just to make an obstruction in the investigation process of the ED. What ED tried to do? ED over there went to investigate and to just check from some in the files over there to get some information out of it. What's wrong with that? The judiciary has allowed that. It is a court-monitored investigation. We shouldn't forget that. Just, if I want to remind you something that the total single amount in the post scam building, Anup Maji, the main source, of course, 165 crores. Anup Maji's earlier seizure is 8.80 crores. Asset of Joydeep Mandal and Gurupati Maji, that's associate of Anup Maji also, 15.50 crores. Kolkata land parcel, the Kolkata scam is 6 crores. Additional cash and jewelry seized in 2025 is 14 crores. So, there are evidences previously which the ED has, and they have links. And they also know that if they would have gone and would have taken out several documents, I'm sure 8th January 2026 would have been a historical day where we would have seen that TMC government has fallen on the state. And that's the reason, it's the one and only reason why Mamata Banerjee and the prophets just to save these documents, she knew that if anyhow these documents are gone to the hand of ED, her government would have seen the last day. This is the actual reason. Now tell me one thing, like he is blaming the governments. What is she blaming for? The ED have gone for an investigation. If her office is clean, her TMC cadres are clean, she herself is clean, so what is there to fear? Should have straight away said, okay, go and check. And she didn't. And it proves, she herself proved that there was something. And there was something really big. That's why she could have sent someone else. Now she ran herself. She actually proved herself that she, her cadres, the TMC government is linked with this whole scam.
That's right. And Chandan Chaudhary, I would like to bring you in here. You know, Mamata Banerjee's West Bengal's reputation as far as law and order is concerned is already taking a hit. And undermining the rule of law and using police to, politically motivated actions of hers, as claimed by the Enforcement Directorate, further goes on to show the state of affairs in West Bengal. Do you think that Mamata Banerjee is spooked ahead of the elections?
It is quite simple, as we had discussed before. That's the kind of optic is being generating and randomizing just before the election. Now, one thing is very clear, as I told you, even the fast file, that it is condemnable that the chief minister is entering and bringing out the files. But again, underlining, in front of the eyes of the ED officials. Now, the question is here. They are just hyperactive now, and they were hyperactive before. But ultimately, during the time she had invaded, there was nobody who could really prevent. Now, that really created the kind of optic, and here the discussions run on, these particular way, that these, as I tell you, that two parties, optimization into the election and the election year and just before the election by creating this kind of, the stage shows. I'm sorry to say the kind of stage shows, even in Delhi, what you see, and in Kolkata, as you see. Now, the general issues which are so related to the living of the people of Bengal, related to the daily course of lives, ultimately being violated, ultimately being denied. The chief minister is entirely busy. You see, since yesterday, even today, almost 48 hours, she is busy keeping herself by proving that she did right thing yesterday, and the opposition parties are simply doing like joy. It's kind of, the way illustrating the motion of BJP in favoring their stand in Bengal. But the question is that, is it exact optic that they try to mutually correct? That is the great question of the people in general. And I tell you that we are decimated. We are zero, but still we are not vanished. We are asking this question. And this is where it is. But hyperaction of the ED or CBI, if you question that, definitely we had experienced before. Several states earlier, we had seen Chidambaramji was arrested even by scaling the wall, and the CBI officials in his room and finally took him away from there. DK Shiv Kumar ji was arrested and spent in jail.
That's right. Several Congress leaders have been raided by the Enforcement Directorate,
yes,
but none of these leaders, ran away from their homes with those crucial files.
True.
Now, Mr. Firoz Khan, before I come to you,
right
let's play out Mahua Moitra's response today and her reaction from the national capital, where the TMC was staging a protest.
Yeah.
At 2 p.m. in the afternoon, our leader, the Tigress Mamata Banerjee, nobody else has the guts. And today, nobody else, no opposition leader had the guts to do what she did yesterday. While the ED's illegal raid was going on, Didi went into the premises and she tried and saved our party's documents and our party's information. She's leading a march today from Jadavpur 8B bus stand to Hazra Mode, and all the public of Calcutta will join her, and we will show the BJP that these tricks on the eve of an election will backfire.
Mr. Khan, Mahua Moitra says Mamata Banerjee behaved like a tigress, but looking at her, body language yesterday, she didn't look like a tigress. She looked like a cornered mouse who had something to hide. And that's exactly the question that the nation is asking today. Please answer, what is Mamata Banerjee trying to hide and who is she trying to shield?
First of all, I need to tell you one thing. Really, the Mamata Banerjee is the tigress for the West Bengal war, right? And for the West Bengal people also. She is a tigress. So she is not scared with BJP or with AD and all. She is not scared.
She's not scared, but what really happened yesterday, sir? She looked very, very scared yesterday. If you look at that, she was trying to push everybody away from her path. She ran into the I-PAC office, gathered all the files in haste and ran out like there was something that she didn't want ED to find out.
What ED had did yesterday, that was totally manipulated by BJP government.
So, but if you, realize there were parallel raids happening in Delhi also, but none of the BJP leaders ran away with the files.
Where?
There were 10 raids that happened yesterday, sir, 6 across Kolkata and 4 across the national capital, and both of them, all of these locations were raided in the same case.
Only the ED raid has been done in those states where the state is ruled by the BJP. There is such a raid done by the AD. Only the raid is happening in those states where the BJP are not in the power.
All right, sir, but still, whatever Mamata Banerjee did yesterday is unconstitutional. You can't block an investigation, an ongoing investigation by a central agency, unless something is very, very fishy going on at the I-PAC office, which is, as claimed by TMC, the social media office of the TMC, poll strategist. But what is the poll strategist company hiding? You're still not answering my question.
I'm answering your question now. I'm here to answer your question also. What do you want to ask me? Tell me.
Mr. Joy Malik, it seems like the TMC is not, quite really understanding the questions. What do you think? Because let me tell you, because if there was nothing to hide, then Mamata Banerjee would sit back at home and let the ED investigate the files, and then she would claim vindication that the ED did not find anything at the I-PAC office. But if Dal mein kuch kala hai, that is when you run to I-PAC office, run to Pratik Jain's house, snatch his phone, hide his, electronic evidence. So how do you really look at these actions of Mamata Banerjee?
You are absolutely right. It doesn't make any sense, Like Mamata Banerjee, starting from his government officials, his big boss police officers, his big bhai logs of the TMC cadres, she wasn't anyone. Anyone. Look, Priya herself is rushing to a private company office when the investigation is ongoing. You have to stop the investigation. This is fishy. And I definitely nothing. This is not a first time. It has happened earlier also. The big thing, what happened last time is Hindustan. When the investigation officers went, a big Dada over there, now though he's in jail, so they did the same thing.
In 2024, ED officials were attacked, and they headed back with bloodied noses, and there was bloodshed witnessed in West Bengal. If anything like this has happened, it has happened in West Bengal in the past itself, which I mentioned about. Now, coming to you, Mr. A.K. Jain, is this behavior of the top cops permissible under police conduct and also the PMLA? And why I ask you this is because Mamata Banerjee clearly stated that she did not act as the Home Minister of Bengal, she did not act as the Chief Minister, but as a party chief. As a party chief, can you misuse the police force?
No, you cannot misuse the police force at all. The behavior of police commissioner, the behavior of DGP, it cannot be justified from any angle. I am told that they were threatening ED officials not to make any recovery memo. So action should be taken against them also. Investigation should be handed over to CBI, and CBI should nail these officers.
That's right, Mr. A.K. Jain. But the takeaway, viewers, from this discussion is the fact that the matter has reached the Calcutta High Court. The TMC really has no answers to some pointed questions on what Mamata Banerjee is really hiding and who is she really shielding. But even if the court orders a CBI probe, will Mamata Banerjee allow that investigation? That's the big question, because the past really has it that Mamata Banerjee is against investigation by central agencies. On that note, thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on this debate tonight. With that, it's a wrap on today's show. Thank you for watching.
Every champion's journey starts with second thoughts.
क्या हुआ?
Till they see it's possible and there is someone who truly believes in them.
एक दिन बहुत बड़ा आदमी बनना है ना?
Orchids, the international school, raising 85,000 champions across India.
दूरियां कोई अपनों में ना रहे, दिल में जब उमंग हो, घर है वही जहाँ सब संग हो, रिश्तों को रंग दो, दुनिया को रंग दो।
Birla Opus Paints.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News 9, English news as it should be.
Ladies and gentlemen, our top focus. A missile Russia claims no defense system can stop. A weapon President Putin calls unstoppable, and a strike that is once again raising global alarm. The Orsnik is an intermediate range hypersonic ballistic missile named after the hazel tree. Orsnik can carry multiple warheads that separate mid-flight and hit different targets simultaneously, a capability usually seen in intercontinental missiles. After launch, the missile rises high into the atmosphere before its warheads descend at extreme speed, making tracking and interception extremely difficult. The missile travels at more than Mach 10, giving defense systems very little reaction time. Why are we talking about this? President Putin has repeatedly touted the Oceanic missile as impossible to intercept, citing its reported speed of more than 10 times the speed of sound. Well, US officials have played down the